Barbados, Dominica, St. Lucia and more. We can ship almost anything from personal effects to excess baggage to cars and vans and plant machinery. We can even supply containers and barrels direct to your home address. And collection is simple too. We simply come to you. World Cargo International, taking the hassle out of shipping. Pop in and see us at 55A Princess Street, Luton, LU1 580. Call us on 01582 733 711 or see us online at worldcargoint.com.
Step 1. Use our warehouse as a forwarding address at checkout. Step 2. Delivery to our warehouse and we will check your goods. Step 3. We deliver worldwide, handle customs, notify you of your cost and prepare your package for delivery to your door. Contact us today on 44 784 25 362 or 44 744 6705 955, or alternatively send an email to info@worldcargoint.com. World Cargo International, where no item is too big.
A very good afternoon to all you, our listeners, everybody who is joining us this afternoon from wherever you are. I've got a wonderful guest this afternoon, and this is one lady I met a couple of years, I can't even say a couple of years back. It's been a while. It's been a real while, and I just feel so much joy to have reconnected with her again. And she's still doing the great work that she's doing. So she's going to be telling us all about it in a few minutes. Let me introduce it to you, Helen Tucker. Hello, Helen.
Hi, Munya. I'm so happy to be on your show. As you said, it has been, I think, quite a few years because the time just goes. Yes, so I'm so pleased to be here.
Yes. So before we begin, Helen, I need to get into the project that you have coming up with the free job and business training that you have coming up for the women. But before we get into that, can you just tell our listeners and also people who are watching us who Helen Tucker is?
Oh, wow. Okay, have you got enough time? Okay, so yes, as you've mentioned, my name's Helen, and I am the founder and director of Women Talk, which is an organization that allows women to share, because, you know, as women, we like to talk.
Yes.
So in relation to what we do, we actually offer support, guidance, in terms of supporting women to build up their confidence, their motivation by delivering courses, workshops, guest speakers, and we do this on a monthly basis. And we started Women Talk in 2013 because there was a great need for women just to get together. And even if they didn't want to join a course or to study, it was just to connect with other women, because when one woman shares her story, I always say it can save a life. And the many challenges we face as women on a day-to-day basis is extraordinary, because people don't always realize what we go through. When we share with other women, that woman can actually relate to that and find some solutions to that. So our monthly events has been organizing events, and we've always been part of International Women's Day, really sort of supporting women who have a lot of talent and to give back to the community as well. So we do support women, but not only women, it's the impact women have on their family and their friends. So whatever they do in their lives, it does have a ripple effect. So men are included as well. Some of the events we've had included men to just share and appreciate what some of the women have or continue to do in the local community.
I remember the very first meeting we had was here by the Days Hotel, wasn't it, Helen?
Yes.
The very first women talk we had was at the Days Hotel, and it was absolutely amazing. There were so many women from different backgrounds, and everybody was just talking and everybody just connected. It was such a wonderful atmosphere, and the stories that were shared on that day, it was just like, wow, this is something that we really needed in this community. And like you said, that a lot of women, we go through a lot of stuff that is so sometimes overwhelming, and when we share it with other women, they can connect and they can understand where we're coming from, because it's something that they've gone through themselves, or they know somebody who's gone through whatever we're going through ourselves. I was speaking to Veronica yesterday. I don't know if you remember Veronica.
Yes, I know Veronica, yes.
And with Veronica and yourself and everybody else that I know around me, I'm always like, you are people that I can talk to like for hours and hours, and I just have loads of stories to tell.
And it's so true, because even though we're sharing our stories, it can, as I mentioned, it makes an impact, because women go home and it can change our attitude, which in turn changes our behavior, our mind, and then there's a mind shift as well. So with some of the women who've come to our sessions, and we've had, you mentioned all walks of all the different backgrounds, different religion, different ages, women who've connected, and it's been about them just sharing who they are, and then looking, okay, so what's the next step? Because it's not just about talking and then they go home, it's looking at actually, we've shared this, how can I be supported? And this is where Women Talk actually goes into action, in terms of, we act like a catalyst. We speed up what is actually inside you, the great potential. So it leads me into the programs and the projects that we've been delivering over a number of years, especially within Luton and Bedfordshire, and specifically targeting women, because we go to the core of what women want.
Yes.
You can have someone who's going for a job in maybe care assistant or customer care in a shop, or a manager, or whatever type of job. But if that person doesn't have the confidence within themselves or the self-belief, then that job is lost on them. They, it's looking at, well, let's try and understand what you're about. Let's understand what you're going through, and build up your confidence and build up your self-esteem, so you have that self-belief to say, well, actually, I can go for that job. Yes, I can start this business.
And I must add that, Helen, with the lockdown, everything just stopped. The work stopped. Nobody was going out. There was no communication with the outside world. So a lot of women got affected by that. There's some women who've actually had to start all over again, building up how they approach somebody, how do they talk to somebody, how do I even go to an interview and ask for a job, and what do I talk about? Because all this has been affected from us staying at home and just being idle, looking after the children at the end of the day, and cleaning, and that's what reduced to, isn't it?
Yeah, and even the word lockdown, it has a mental sort of mental connotations, because when you say lockdown, you feel restricted. And this is what a lot of women were feeling. They felt restricted, they couldn't do anything. And this is where, as Women Talk, what we actually did was to organize Zoom sessions, and we had accountability sessions. And these accountability sessions were, again, connecting with women to just share just little things. We had a group of women, and some of the things that they wanted to achieve was as simple as just reducing the sugar intake. or increasing, maybe just walking and to reduce the weight, or to look at how do I do my CV. And so each week they would join the accountability session, and then they will be accountable to each other, because you'd have Mary who would say, actually, I reduced my sugar intake this week and I'm so pleased. And all the other women would say, oh, good for you, Mary. Let's, and what have you done, Cynthia? And, so it was really encouraging the women to actually achieve, just taking little steps, because when you take little steps, or you make these changes can affect a shift in your life as well. And it's having those daily habits that can actually make the change that you want in your life. So accountability sessions, which is again part of our project, is what we include, because anything can happen. We don't know what's going to happen. And I know I don't want to say it's down, but it's looking at how we connect with one another.
Yeah, that's the most frightening thing. Well, I can tell you that during lockdown, we connected Simply D's. I'm sure you know Dee.
Yes.
We had a group of women. We wrote 2 books. Can you believe?
I know. Fantastic. Excellent.
So, like you're saying, there were women there that all they needed was that extra encouragement and, a round of applause. Well done. That's what most women needed. But I think we took it up a notch, and we decided. I remember when V came up with the idea to say that let's write a book. I'm like, you are. What are you talking about? I've never written a book in my life. So it was those little things that we did together, and we encouraged each other, and we gave direction for each other that, okay, we're going to write a book, we're going to start here, and we write about this, and then we finish here. And well, there we are. We had 2 books in the end. So
yeah. But it's, and that is so inspirational as well, because you even said, what, a book? But we can actually do it, and it just takes one person to say, yes, you can. And sometimes we just need that one person just to say, yes, you can, to give us that little bit of a push, and to them to believe in us as well. And I think that's something that Dee does, that's what you do, and in terms of your show, what you're doing with your business, because people look at you and see what you're doing, and that can actually inspire them to think about, well, Munya's doing quite a lot, Dee is actually doing quite a lot. Maybe I can just try, or be involved in this book, or just share my little story. Because once you see your story in print, you actually feel good about yourself.
I actually felt very proud of myself after the first book. I was like, well done. And it was all thanks to V. I could have never imagined sitting down, writing a book. And I mean, it was a compilation of 22 women, but like you said, even if we're writing just a small paragraph, to see it in print and to see it now out there on Amazon and every bookstore, you can get the book from anywhere then, and your name is there. You know what I mean?
Yes, yeah, and that is a legacy, because then and that's the thing for me. My sort of passion is living and leaving a legacy, because we are living. You're part of this major project because you've got the book there, but then that's the legacy that you're leaving for the next generation to find out, actually, we went through something which was extraordinary, COVID. How did people actually deal with this stage in, over 2 years? And so, in the next 5 years, people will look at that book and think, oh, wow, they went through this.
I was thinking about a time when our great-grandkids will be thinking of, you had what? COVID? You had to stay indoors for a whole year without going out? You see, this is something that they can go back and look at all this content that we're creating on YouTube, on Facebook, on whatever platforms that we're doing, books that we've written. They can actually go and say, oh, I want to go and read about this. What exactly happened? and they can get an idea of how everybody experienced the lockdown and how horrible it was and stuff like that. But so let's talk about the free job and business.
Yes. Well, what we have secured is funding from the lottery and European Social Fund to actually deliver workshops that will boost the confidence of women. And it's at any age. They need to be unemployed because it's free. And it's funded, and so we cover all of the costs in terms of childcare, travel, and lunch. And what we're offering is for them to really boost their confidence in themselves. And as you mentioned, people who are coming out of lockdown and COVID, it's not their confidence, and it's really sort of not giving them the ability to have that self-confidence and that self-belief in themselves. So what we're looking at is helping them move forward, to put them on a journey so they can look at how they put together the CV. Even though I know there's so many CV workshops out there, but as I said, what we do is really look at each individual woman and find, what's your story? How can we help you? Is it your confidence? Is it how you come across, how you talk, anything that relates to them? And then
that's interesting, Helen, because you're taking it a little bit deeper, because normally when people are asking for a CV, they just want to know your qualifications and what you're good at, and that's it. So for you to be taking the time to have a chat of one-to-one with every woman, understand what they're good at and what they want to do, I think that is a very, very good initiative that you've got going on there.
Yeah, that's our ethos, because it's finding their passion and their purpose. Once you know what you're passionate about, you then know your purpose. And it's looking at what gets you up in the morning, Munya? What gets you up in the morning to
yes. In jobs that you think every day before you even go to bed, you think, oh, I have to go to work tomorrow. I can't do that. I need something that I look forward to, that I get excited about, and I don't have to try any hard to get out of bed in the morning.
Yeah. And this is what we unpack. It's really sort of delving in to find out, well, what is your purpose? What is your passion? Because at any age, we've had women in their 40s, 50s, and 60s and think, actually, I feel stuck. I really feel overwhelmed with what's happening in the world, and they shrink in size and their attitude and their behavior, and they become less than what they are. So what we do is to rebuild who they are, for them to have a sense of excitement about the future and look at, well, actually, I'm quite passionate about this. So we find out what they're really good at. We find out about their passion, their purpose, and then we build on the journey, their vision. So even if it's to create a really good CV, or even if they've got a hobby, it's turning that hobby into a small business, and just to get maybe some passive income coming in. Nowadays, a lot of people are not going back to work full time. They're working remotely. So people are working 2-3 days in the office and then at home. So there's a lot of flexibility nowadays. So I was looking at, taking more control of your career, taking more control of your life, because once you reclaim what people have taken away from you, it empowers you. And that's what we do. We empower women to really take control of their lives and their career and any business that they want to do. So it's 12 weeks. 1 day a week. So we're running two projects. It's on a Monday, and this will take place at Luton All Women's Centre. And we're looking at 20 women to be on the program. So we are limited in terms of numbers. And that'll be delivered by Yvonne Michelle, who's an amazing
I know Yvonne, yes, she's absolutely fabulous.
She is. And even with her background, her experience, her skills, she has so much to offer to support the women.
Yes,
and then they will have the face-to-face with her, and then with me they'll have the accountability sessions where I will take them through each week to find out what they've achieved and just give them a boost of confidence. And then on a Thursday we have Hanifa Mohammed.
Oh, Hanifa is
another powerhouse woman.
You really have a powerhouse. I like the way you put it.
Yes. And then, Thursday we have Hanifa, and that will be at Angelkidz Nursery.
Okay.
Where she will deliver the sessions there. And again, it's all about the women having full control of who they are, what they're about, discovering their passion, and then adding those building blocks in terms of the CV and encouraging them to really step out of the comfort zone. I always say, if you leave yourself open to new experiences, your life becomes enriched, because you have a different perception of what life is about, of what you want from life. Sometimes when I say to the ladies, I always say to them, because we have a WhatsApp group and I send motivational quotes, and I say to the ladies, just change your seat. I'm always sitting on my sofa, and I sit on the sofa, and I thought, let me just go sit on a chair. I've got a chair over there, and I hardly sit in that chair. And I thought, let me go sit in that other chair. And as soon as you get up from where you've been sitting and you go to another, you go to another chair, my perspective of my room changes. And so this is what life is about, and is looking at, okay, change your perspective. Look at the world in a different viewpoint. And this is what Women Talk does. It helps you shift from sitting from that sofa to sitting in that other chair that you don't normally sit in.
I'm going to tell my partner that, okay, fine, today you're sitting over there. I've noticed, now that you've mentioned it, we've put ourselves in, that seat that, when I'm sitting in this is my chair, and this is his chair. And when he comes, even if he's out, when he comes, you automatically move. You Oh gosh!
Yes. But that's life. That is life. So it is all about shifting our perspective. And what the women will gain is developing the skills, IT skills. So I know there's a lot of women as well who may be fearful of just using a computer. They touch a button and may think, oh, it's going to break it. But that's something that we can help women with as well. We have laptops that they can use, and we just go through the basics. It's what we're doing is eliminating any fear, any barriers, making the women feel comfortable. So when they come to us, it's not just, okay, you need to do a CV, you need to start a business. No, we need to know, who are you? What do you like? Do you want? Yes, because then that enables that woman to really take control of her life, her children, her family, her friends, people who she's caring for, and herself. And because that will also be an added asset to any organization as well, because when a person walks through that door, they have to feel confident. A lot of employees, I've sat on the other side of recruiting people, and what I look for is somebody who walks in with confidence, an air of confidence.
Even if they don't know what they're doing, it's how they present themselves, isn't it? It's
exactly.
Braveness that, I can do this. I don't know what I'm doing, but let me just try.
Yes, because any job you go into, you're not going to know everything. You actually learn on the job. Yeah, you actually learn on the job. Yes. So again, we will encourage women to look at and expand the options. So it's not just about, oh, I've always been working in a shop, or I've always done admin. actually, let's see what else you can do. Yes, yeah. And so looking at exposing them to other maybe careers, or even encouraging them to even write a book that they may become a bestseller. You don't know. Yes, because, yeah, we all have these little dreams, but then sometimes we're quite frightened to voice it, because somebody may be laughing at us. No, we want to hear all of that.
That's the one thing that holds a lot of women back. It's taking that first step. And I remember speaking to these two young ladies. They were talking about this brilliant business idea that they had. But you know what was stopping them is just the fact that, what if it doesn't work? So what? If it doesn't work, it's not working for that time. We leave it, and then we go to something else, and then we come back and pick up where we left it.
Yeah.
It's not like
so true.
All over again. I say to them, look, the problem is we all start a business thinking that everything is going to work as you planned it, but that is entirely not the case, is it?
No. And with any business, even the word failure, it's not even failure, because when you start a business, okay, it has its ups and downs, but you're learning. And then when you go to another stage, you've learned that I'm not going to do it this way because it didn't work that way. You've actually learned something. So, starting a business and people say, oh, you're going to find it and it's not going to work. You're learning each stage. And, some of the women who've come on our past programs, they've shared their ideas about starting a business. And all they needed was to have the tools just to let them know that they can do it and how to go about doing it. Or some of the women who've come on the program have been quite vulnerable, had health issues, mental health issues, and we've really supported them as well, or they've hit that bottom. There's a book called was A Value in the Valley by Ileana Van Zandt. And she says when people are so depressed, they hit that valley, you just hit the bottom. But there's value in there because you become stronger, you build your character. And when you come out of that valley, you actually become a different person. So when you hit another valley, you don't stay there in there as long as the first. Yes. So we learn certain things, about ourselves.
Yeah, quite interesting. So now the 12 weeks for the free job and business training. When does it start, and how do people register if they're interested in joining these sessions? How do they go about it?
We have an open day on the 5th, Monday, the 5th of September, and this will be at the Luton All Women's Centre, and that will take place from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Okay. And women coming along will meet Yvonne. She will go through the topics, the program. It'll be a fun day because we're having sort of getting to meet and greet and meeting the other women, and it'll be a fun day. And they will be able to know more about the program and also to register, because it's a funded program. They go through registration. What they just need to bring is proof that they are unemployed and ID. So that will take place on Monday, the 5th of September. And on the Thursday, the 8th of September, it will be at Angelkidz Nursery, Cheapside, 53 Cheapside. And that's the same time, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And that's where they'll meet Hanifa.
Okay, so you have two days of women come and see if they like it, and if they want to register, then they can jump on board immediately. Then after that, obviously, the sessions begin. So like to say, this is open to any woman, any background, any culture, wherever you're from, as long as you can prove that you are unemployed and your ID. Did you say your ID? You need their ID?
Passport, or just some form of ID, so we know it's and unemployment status.
Okay.
And I have a phone number, if I can give that out.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Yep, it's 0203 532 2831. And if they ask for Margaret, Margaret will be happy to take their details, and we will send them an email to send them more information about the day. So it's 0203 532 2831.
Okay, one other question. I can't remember if you said, is this just for women around Luton?
Luton, Bedfordshire, Northampton. So we're actually
quite
across.
Okay.
Yes. We will pay for travel cost. We'll pay for, we've got nursery places as well. So we'll pay for the nursery places and lunch and refreshments. And all they need to come along with a positive attitude and be ready to be supported. So we can.
What I will do, I've seen your flyer.
Yes.
So I will post that again on our Facebook page.
Fantastic.
And just include the phone number for Margaret if people want to get hold of her. If they didn't catch the number, then they will find the number on there on our social media. So. Yeah, this, like I said, this is a great initiative. And what I like is that you said you're going to look at every woman individually. And I like that, because you understand how everybody's different, how everybody's built, our types of learning, the way we understand things is totally different. So I've been in situations where I've just been, throwing in the deep end with everybody else. And I'm thinking, okay, I don't understand what she said. But then you're so shy to ask, where you don't understand, because you're thinking people are going to laugh at me. And there's all sorts of things that you think about when you are put in a situation where you're not given that opportunity to have a face-to-face and have a one-to-one chat with your mentor or your future educator, whatever they're going to be. And then you really have this talk with just the two of you. So I really like that.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, because as you said, some women don't have a voice, and as you said, they may be shy or just really lacking confidence. So, we're not having people like sheep. It's really looking at the individual person. If they don't want to share, and within the group format, then they have that one-to-one and their accountability sessions. So, we everybody's different, and everybody has different levels of motivation, different levels of confidence, that then they can spark somebody else. Because there's a quote that we can't motivate someone. All we can do is to present a positive outlook. Yes.
Okay.
A positive outlook, because you're positive. You're doing this show, you're motivating me to do something with my life. So all we can do is instill that positive attitude. And that's what we do for our women. Instill positive attitude so they're motivated to do something.
That's what I always think, that the more we talk about these things, the more it goes out there, the more people can hear it. I mean, I don't look at it as or how many people have watched my program, how many people, because I know there are people who come over and over and watch it. Yeah. But as long as I can get to just that one person, that's all that matters for me. Trust me.
Because it makes a significant impact on someone. As I said, we have, even with our last group, we set up a WhatsApp group for the ladies, just to connect, to keep that connection going. Because with these programs, they're funded, and it's sort of like, okay, you've done the program, bye-bye. We actually keep
that's connected. What happens, Smith. Take care of yourself.
Exactly. Yeah, but what we've done is we create a WhatsApp group. We've got an Instagram, so the women are still encouraged. They're still motivated, and I send motivational quotes. And I remember one woman. She messaged me privately, and she said, "Helen," she said, "those motivational quotes." She said, "I was going through a dark period, but each morning when I got up and I saw a quote from the other women, it really inspired me to get up and face the day." So you don't know what impact you're making on someone because they could be silent, but they're there and they're actually taking on board what you're doing. And that's what we do.
Well, that's the thing. We can never know what people are going through out
Exactly.
there. That's why they say be kind. Always be kind, because you don't know what somebody's going through in their day-to-day or on that day, and you just being nasty to them is just going to add on to whatever is troubling them. So I just want to say that I'm so glad we've reconnected, and this is so exciting. I hope you will do something in the future of like what you used to do before, just get the women together. A cup of coffee and cake, and just, what did we call it? What was just networking.
Networking, just meeting up and
different women, and then we have 1-2 people talk about what they're doing, and like you're saying, everybody needs motivation and inspiration at some point in our life. I, for myself, I do. I this is what I live on.
Well, as you said, you enjoy doing what you do because you're making a difference, and it doesn't seem like work. When you're enjoying something, it doesn't seem like work. So somebody may be thinking, "Oh, she's got this radio show, must be really hard work," but you're probably thinking, "Actually, no, I'm enjoying this, and
I enjoy it because I've just noticed that, especially our culture, our Black people, our Black women, we are always left behind. There's always information like this free job and business training. If we don't talk about it, if I don't bring it on this platform, none of my people in my circles are going to know about it. So they're going to miss out on opportunities like this. So this is why I take that 30-40 minutes and just put it out there and share it on my social media. Like I said, whoever picks it up and finds it useful, then so why not?
And it could be if they've listened to it and they know someone who could benefit from coming onto the program.
Because there's a lot of people who are looking for jobs out there, and they have no idea how to write a CV. They don't know
even to go even to go about to navigate their way around, because job search is a job in itself. It's so much work to actually research, to find out what you want, to maybe call the employer, and this is what we take them through. And I think there's a lot of pressure now for people to find work, and so people are feeling overwhelmed and stressed because especially if they're unemployed, they are feeling pressured because they need to get a job, and so people just take any job because they're thinking, and just go along with it. But it's finding the right type of career. And even if it doesn't matter, as I said, the age you are, you can restart your career at age of 50 or 60. Age is not a barrier. It's just a number. It's not a barrier. So, a friend of mine, she changed her career in her late 50s. She was a nurse, and then she went into teaching, and she thoroughly enjoyed the teaching, and she changed her career because she felt that she wanted to give more to young people and went into teaching. So there may be women out there who feel, actually, I wouldn't mind doing some teaching, but don't know how to go about doing that. Just giving back to the community. A lot of women were doing homeschooling. That's a skill or skills that they can now transfer into a school. because they've developed homeschooling skills because of the lockdown. Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of skills that we realized we had during lockdown, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah. You had to.
This is the time, the chance to show what we can do, actually, you know, and try and monetize it. I know there was a lot of baking, a lot of sewing, you know, people picked up all the hobbies that they used to do in the past, and they started doing those things again, which I find quite interesting and fascinating, because a lot of my friends who used to do baking just for the fun of it ended up doing the baking as a business, and they've been making money out of it.
Fantastic.
So that is quite interesting, and they don't work as much as they used to before, because they have this side business now. Like you said, most women are working 3 days from home, and then the other 2 you're in an office setup. So hopefully they will ditch the job and carry on.
And it could be anything, you know. It's hobbies. I think knitting was one of the things that was on the increase. Yes. So even knitting and creating hats or garments, that is another business venture. It's a hobby, something that people enjoy that can be turned into a business. But then it's what we do is to provide them the skills to do that. We do take them through that, or if they want to get a job, we'll take them through that. Or if it's just about building their confidence, that they're not ready to start a business, because that again could be a big step. If they're not ready to go back into work, they're not ready to start a business, but they just need a little bit of confidence. They just need to have self-esteem built up, or they're feeling really low, then they can come along, because that's progress in itself. You know, we've had women who've been really depressed because they just felt overwhelmed. By the end of the program, they felt energized, they felt confident, and then they were ready for the next stage of, okay, now I'm looking to maybe look for a job. But they needed that support for themselves. And it's amazing when you take control of your inner self, your confidence, you actually look different.
You glow more.
And look younger. One woman, she came on the program, and she was so depressed. She was worried about her children, no money, finances are tight, everything. She slowly built up her confidence. She started to talk to the other women, and not always contributing within the sessions, but just talking to maybe 1 or 2, started to smile, started to laugh. By the end of the program, Monia, she looked 10 years younger. Because she just felt, actually, I found myself. I've become a lot more confident in who I am. And that to me, that's the core of what we do. As I said, we're a catalyst for change. And that's what
it makes you feel good, doesn't it?
Yes. Pardon?
How does that make you feel when you realize you've just done that transformation of somebody? How does that feel?
It's amazing, honestly. And I always share the stories of women who come through to other women, and I always get them back to actually share their story, because even though I can share the stories, it's not me, it's them that's gone through it. So on the program, what we will do is to have some women who come through the program and just share what they experience, because it's always nice to know, well, what did you go through? What were you like before you started this program? And because it's always nice to get it from the person who's gone through the change. But for me, it's capturing that. And when you mentioned the book, what we've also done is to capture those stories. So we've created Women Talk chapbooks, and they're just chapters, of someone's life. Just a chapter. We've all gone through so many chapters in our lives. So what we say is, just choose one chapter in your life. Could it be a challenge that you faced, but how have you overcome that challenge? What happened? 500 words. And what we did last year, we produced a chapbook called The Next Chapter. And it's a compilation similar to what you've done of 40 women, their stories, and put that on Amazon. And women were just reading each other's stories and saying, wow, I've gone through this and I didn't know you know, we had women from all over the world, actually, from West Africa, East Africa, Europe. It was and we realized there's so many women, it doesn't matter where they're coming from, we face similar situations.
That is so true. And then there you are sitting there thinking, oh, it's just me.
Exactly.
You know, the Lord doesn't love me. Meanwhile, there's thousands of other women who are going through the same situation that you went through. And then there's those few women who've come out of that situation and they will tell you the story, how they did it, what happened. And it's just so, you know, mind-blowing and mind-opening as well, that sometimes there are things that you cannot deal with. And then there is somebody out there who's going through exactly what you're going through, and they had a solution.
Yes.
So for you, it's like, okay, let me try what I read about this woman, how she did it, and there we go.
Yeah, and as I said, one woman's story can save another woman's life because she's just shared, what she did. We've had some women who've now created a podcast. Women who've been through abuse and have come out of the abusive relationships and now have gained the confidence to share their story and produce podcasts, and have actually got experts on their podcast just to share what they should do in certain situations when they felt vulnerable or in a situation that could threaten their lives. And that's been amazing because there are silent women who are going through so much. And when they've listened to the podcast, they've taken some steps to take control of their situation because one woman's bravery of sharing her story has saved somebody else's life. So, you know, it's everything and anything women have gone through that they can share. And that's why we have the support in terms of the Luton Women's Centre, because it's a safe environment, and at the training centre where it's just women, where they can feel free and open to share what they've gone through.
Stories, Wow, Helen, like I said, I can talk to you for hours. Especially now, I haven't seen you in a long time, so you have that age to say, okay, what else have you been doing? Wait, where is it this time? You know? But we'll do that another time. If you can, just for our listeners out there, one more time, give us the information about the free job and business trial coming up, where they can access it and how they can access it.
Okay, so it'll be the open day will be on the 5th of September, Luton All Women's Centre. That's Central Luton, and the number to contact to register is 0203 532 2831. And if they ask for Margaret, she will take their details. And that's the open day with Yvonne. She'll go through the program, and it's all about jobs and business training and about the accountability. So we can help them with computer skills and confidence building, discover their passion and purpose, achieve weekly tasks, create a winning CV, or even turn the hobby into a business. And then the Thursday, the 8th of September, we'll have an open day again, the same program, which will take place at Angelkidz Nursery, Cheapside, 53 Cheapside. Again, the phone number 0203 532 2831. And that's where they'll meet Hanifa, and she will go through the program with them. But we're so excited. And so we want women to come, and this is an opportunity for them to actually step out and just come along, even if it's just to find out how we can support them. I know we can take them to the next level, whether it's just building their confidence or them connecting with other women, or as I said, CVs or jobs or business, we will support them, but we're looking at the personal first and then take them on that journey of self-discovery and then adding the skills so we can help them move on.
Thank you very much, Helen. Thank you so much. Well, as for me, I can vouch that Helen will do exactly and extremely even more than what she said to you right now in this session. So you'll be in good hands. Come along, it's free. And there's also other opportunities of what you can benefit from the Women Talk, and also the Luton Women's Center. They do a lot of programs there as well, isn't it?
Yes, they do.
A few activities that they do. And I think this is the chance for you, if you're not sure what you want to do, you're not sure if you want to go back to work, or how do you get back to work, or how do you manage yourself. This is the opportunity for you to just come along and go and have a chat with Yvonne and Helen, Hanifa.
Hanifa.
Yes. You're going to have so much fun.
I know. They will, honestly, they will. And that's what it's all about. It's having fun, but also knowing that you're being supported as well.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, I'll share again the flyer on our social media. And if you forget the details, please, you can also get in touch with us here at Pamtengo Radio. We will forward you the details, and the information that Helen has given us earlier, I will be posting it after this program. So thank you very much for listening, and those who are watching us, thank you very much for your support. If you know anybody, please just share this live broadcast with your friends and your family. It could be a help to somebody who needs the help that you don't know they needed. And once again, Helen, thank you for taking the time to join me this afternoon. Any last words you have for our listeners?
I just want to say thank you so much, Monia, because I know you've been doing this for years and you're making such an impact in the community. I just want to thank you. And my last comment is, learning to believe in yourself gives inner strength to achieve the impossible.
Wow. Thank you very much. All our listeners out there, until next time, stay blessed and stay safe. Thank you, Helen. We'll see you soon, and good luck with the training sessions. And I'm sure we'll catch up soon.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
All right, then. Have a lovely day and a good weekend.
Thank you.
Bye.
You too. Bye.
World Cargo International, the experts in shipping to the Caribbean, with weekly sailings to Kingston, Jamaica, and fortnightly sailings to Trinidad, Barbados, Dominica, St. Lucia, and more. We can ship almost anything from personal effects to excess baggage to cars and vans and plant machinery. We can even supply containers and barrels direct to your home address. And collection is simple too. We simply come to you. World Cargo International, taking the hassle out of shipping. Pop in and see us at 55A Princess Street, Luton, LU1 580. Call us on 01582 733 711 or see us online at worldcargoint.com.